SUV. So posh. SUV. Sorry. Christmas Day. It is not a patch on new car day. But with so many cars out there, where do you start? There's a lot to unpack here, so we're going to be focusing on 3 key questions. Should you buy a new or used car? What type of car should you buy? And what type of fuel should you go for? We've got the answers, so start your engines. Oh, it's the big one. If you can afford it, you might be able to pick between a new or used car. So which one is best for you? Here's our quick guide to the pros and cons. The great thing about a new car is that it's brand new, it's shiny, it's perfect, everything works, and it has that new car smell. On a more rational level, you get to choose the colour and spec, and it's likely to have all the latest gadgets and safety features. There might be more financing options open to you, and it's less likely to go wrong than a used car. But if it does, you should be covered by a full manufacturer warranty. It can't all be good news though, so what about the cons? A new car will cost you more than buying a used car, and there might be a waiting list for the one that you really want. Then there's depreciation. It's an old cliche that a car loses thousands of pounds in value from the moment you drive it away. But it's true. Unless it's rare or a collectible, cars lose value most quickly in their first couple of years on the road. And whether you're buying it outright or on finance, the drop in value makes a big difference to how much you pay overall. The obvious benefit of a used car is that it costs less than a new one. You won't have to wait for it to be built, and there are loads to choose from. Around 7 million used cars are purchased every year in the UK. Depending on the car you're looking at and how old the car is, the value is much more likely to depreciate slower than a new car. So what about the cons? A used car might not have the latest tech and safety features because, well, it's been used, and there might be some wear and tear. And even though it's been thoroughly checked over, and no matter how many times you kick the tyres, something could go wrong. Wait, isn't that how you check the tyre pressure? And because a used car is likely to have a shorter warranty or no warranty at all, you may end up paying more for things like repairs and maintenance. Let's have a quick recap. Whether you're buying a new or used car, there are hundreds of models to choose from. So it's really worth working out what your needs are. Do you need a lot of space? Do you care what it looks like? Do you want it to be quiet and comfortable or fast and sporty? There's a lot to ponder, so the key thing is to work out what you will use your car for and what your non-negotiables are. This is the stuff to really work out before you sign on the dotted line. It might help to narrow down your selection to one type or body style of car. The main ones are known as hatchback, estate, saloon, MPV, SUV, convertible, coupe, sports car. Yes, I remember them. There's lots of variations within these categories, of course. Smaller or larger cars, luxurious ones, sporty ones, cheaper and more costly options. Let's look at one of the most popular body types first, the hatchback. Hatchbacks range from tiny city cars to big luxurious cars, but they all have a boot lid that's hinged to the roof of the car like this. Most have 4 side doors, but you'll also hear them called 5-door cars because the hatchback is counted as an extra door. Talk about being extra.
Hatchbacks are suitable for just about anyone, really. Most are reasonably practical, and there's a range of models to suit more or less any budget. An estate car is basically a longer, more spacious hatchback with a boxy shape that gives it a huge boot. Estates have become less popular due to the rise of the SUV, more on that in a moment, but they can be a great option if you want a roomy family car that doesn't cost as much as an SUV. SUV stands for Sports Utility Vehicle. This type of car used to be known as a 4x4, and many were rugged and masculine. These days, some are just taller hatchbacks, and many don't have a 4-wheel drive. SUVs are hugely popular for their raised driving position and tough looks, but they genuinely cost more to buy and run than the equivalent hatchback. MPV stands for multi-purpose vehicle, but I like to think it stands for most parents' vibes, because these are big cars for big families. You can think of an MPV as a whopping great hatchback with more space and more seats, at least 5 and often 7, but sometimes as many as 8. Perfect if you've got a big family like the Kardashians, the Jackson 5 or the Von Trapps. The multi-purpose bit is because most MPVs have back seats you can fold away or remove if you're not using them to cram more stuff in. But because they're quite tall and heavy, they can feel a bit cumbersome to drive and often aren't very fuel efficient. So, you probably know this one already. With a convertible car, you can fold the roof away to get the wind in your hair and the sun on your face. Great on a sunny day, not so much when it's raining.
The 4 main fuel types are petrol, diesel, hybrid and electric. And you can watch our video starring yours truly about petrol versus diesel here. In summary, petrol cars might be worth looking at if you do a lot of short journeys, whereas diesel engines might be your best bet if you clock up a lot of motorway miles. Hybrid cars cost more than the equivalent petrol or diesel car, but all come with lower running costs and all have an automatic gearbox as standard. Plug-in hybrids cost more again because of their larger rechargeable batteries. However, you can go further in them on pure electric power. It might be enough for you to use just electricity on your commute, but it only really makes sense to do that if you have a home plug-in charger. Electric cars use battery power alone, and they can be cheap to run if you have the right charging setup, but they can be expensive to buy in the first place. Battery range can be anything up to 150 miles or so in an older or cheaper EV to up to 400 miles in the latest high-spec models. Whatever type of car you're thinking of buying, applying for car finance with Carmula is easy. Just download the app and start the process. Got questions? Reach out to us. We love to chat.